The Philadelphia suburbs are some of the most highly rated and desired areas to live in the entire country. But what makes this area so desirable? Why should you live here? And what are some of the main reasons why you might not want to live here? Stay tuned while we dive deep into all things Philly suburbs. One of the main things that people ask when moving to a new area is, how are the schools? Well, the good news is that out of over 12,000 districts in the country, 2 of the local districts are ranked the 17th and 32nd best in the country, but it gets better. When we look at the top 10 districts throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania, 50% of those districts are located right here in the Philadelphia suburbs. And if we were to expand that to the top 25 districts in the state, 15 of those are located right here in the Philadelphia suburbs. So that tells us if school district ratings is one of the very important aspects of where you end up moving to, you will definitely appreciate this area. Let's talk about real estate next. With every price point and every type of housing right here in the Philly suburbs, if you're looking for a single family home or townhome in a standard neighborhood, the suburbs have so much of that to offer. Or if you're looking for a small condo in the heart of one of our thriving downtown areas, such as Doylestown, Lansdale, Conshohocken, etc., there are plenty of those to choose from as well. Some of the smaller towns within the suburbs might already be close to capacity when it comes to new construction opportunities, while other towns, such as Gilbertsville, Quakertown, Westchester, and plenty of others, are thriving with new construction developments and homes, new businesses, etc. Not every town has the luxury multi-million-dollar homes that are offered on the main line and of course scattered throughout the Philadelphia suburb area as well. So no matter what type of house you're looking for, I can help you find it here in the Philly suburbs, because there truly is just about every type of housing, no matter what you're looking for. After mentioning some towns here, now let's get into how easily accessible the city is from the suburbs. Delaware County and the southern part of Montgomery County could be considered the most convenient for driving into the city. But if you're okay with using public transportation, or if you're okay with around a 40 to 60 minute commute, then that drastically opens up the amount of space and the amount of available towns for you, such as all of Bucks County and Chester County as well. When most people hear the word suburbs, they don't think of convenient public transportation, but luckily here in the suburbs, it's proven that 77,000 people every single week take advantage of the public transportation options that we have coming from the suburbs into the city. Most of the suburban towns have train and bus access, but if they don't, most other towns around some of the more quiet towns do. So no matter what town you end up living in, it's very likely that you would either have bus and train access within your town or a very close neighboring town, which you could access as well. The public transportation out in the suburbs, which take you into Center City and all throughout the different suburbs, is so convenient, especially for the city, whether it's for work, a sports event, a concert, or just to enjoy everything that the city has to offer. Another great thing to mention about living in the Philadelphia suburbs is that there are so many different towns that make up the suburbs that there's just about every type of different environment that you would be looking for, whether that's a family-friendly community atmosphere, which there are plenty of throughout the suburbs, or if you want more of a downtown lively scene, of course, there are those options as well. There's towns that certainly feel like more quiet farm towns. Truthfully, no matter what type of suburban living that you're looking for, you can certainly find it here in the Philly suburbs. All right, so now let's talk about some of the things that aren't so great about living here, such as the lack of urban conveniences with fewer options for nightlife, museums, and plenty of other things that you might be able to easily access if you lived in the city. But instead in the suburbs, you can enjoy so many other things to do while also having access right into the city. So it is kind of the best of both worlds. You can enjoy suburban living with the peace and quiet, much more space, while also being only an hour or less into the city. It wouldn't be a video about the suburbs of Philly if we didn't talk about the weather. While PA is one of the few states that actually has the 4 true seasons throughout the year, of course that comes with some dreaded weather. We experience the freezing, snowy winters and the humid summers. On average, the summer temperatures range from 75 to 90 degrees, but some days we'll have 70 to 80% humidity on top of that heat, which makes it feel well into the hundreds. In fall, the average temperature ranges between 45 to 55. In winter, it's typically around 30 to 45 degrees, but sometimes we'll get lucky with a random day in the 50s, although we do sometimes have temperatures below freezing. So it really all depends year after year. Some winters we'll get only a couple of inches of snow, while other winters we could have multiple feet of snow. All right, so now let's talk about the traffic. If you're planning to commute into the city every day for work, we have to make sure that you find a town with easy, direct access into the city, because sometimes people will find a home that they love in the suburbs, but they realize that the house isn't conveniently located to one of the major roads that will take them into the city. So they not only sit in traffic on that major highway, but they're also sitting in traffic just trying to get to that major highway from their local town. Of course, we have rush hour traffic as well, but if you don't plan to commute into the city for work, the rush hour traffic that you'll experience staying within the suburbs is really not that bad at all, and nothing compared to city traffic. Speaking of traffic, now let's talk about one of the main factors that cause the traffic, which is the aging infrastructure that we have here in PA. In states like those down south and out west, where there's expansive, brand new highways with 4 to 5 lanes wide, modern bridges and roads in excellent condition, well, unfortunately, we don't have really any of that here in PA. Pennsylvania highways tend to typically be only 2 to maybe 4 lanes wide, if we're lucky. Some states also feature the HOV lane to encourage carpooling and reduce traffic and emissions, but Pennsylvania doesn't have that either. If you're relocating from a state such as Florida, Arizona, California, etc., you might see a huge difference in the total infrastructure that we have here in Pennsylvania compared to what you're used to. But honestly, if you're moving from just about any other state, you really shouldn't experience that big of a difference when moving here to PA. So now that we went over all things Philly suburbs, if this is the place for you, I would love to help you find your perfect home. My contact information is below, or you can click the contact link in the description below, and I will see you over on this next video.